Friday, February 14th. And yes, I'm back. I'm Paul Huckalak.
And I'm Lisa Rufiange, and this is TV7.ca News. So happy Valentine's Day.
Happy V-Day to everybody. I call it V-Day. I haven't had much luck for Valentine's Day. When I was married, we didn't celebrate Valentine's Day a lot. It just wasn't her thing. I personally love Valentine's Day.
I find it too commercialized, but the kids love it.
That's exactly right. And boy, does it take a long time to do 3 sets of Valentine's cards. Holy mackerel.
I never thought of that. This week, the police are looking for a criminal with dry hands. The Fire and Ice Festival is this weekend, and we talk about a fundraiser for the Jessica Martel Memorial Foundation. All that and so much more. But first.
And please join us on Friday, March 20th, while we live stream the Night of Artists Gala from the Enjoy Center. Tickets for the Friday Night of Artists Gala are available on Eventbrite, or stop on by Saturday or Sunday when the admission is free, although they are accepting donations. One of the artists at this event is Judy Leah Schaefers. Memory Roth had the pleasure of talking with her on this week's Art in the City.
I'm here at the Art Gallery of St. Albert with artist Judy Leah Schaefers. Welcome, Judy.
Hi.
So how are you?
I'm good.
Been pretty busy?
Oh man, yes.
So you're a professional artist, and you've been doing this for a long time.
Yes.
So when did you first start?
Oh, like most, as a child.
Yeah?
I picked the path of least resistance.
Oh, yeah.
I was horrible at sports, terrible at science, but always really comfortable and good at arts and crafts, so.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
So at what point in your life did you decide that this would actually be a career path?
Oh, a little bit after I got married. Got married young, so I didn't really, think about career things at the time, but a few years after I got married. I married a house framer.
Okay.
I thought that was good because I didn't want to marry a farmer. And then he turned into a farmer.
Oh.
So that really complicated my life as far as art goes, because that means art has to be a little bit seasonal, off season.
Right. So what season do you find that you actually can really concentrate?
Late fall, winter, and early spring. And then the rest of the year is outside.
So Judy, you're not actually from St. Albert or living in St. Albert. You are just outside of St. Albert. So where are you located?
Villeneuve, 15 minets west.
And you have your own little gallery out there?
Yes, I do.
And you have had many shows at different times of the year?
Yeah.
Well, that's great. And so what is your actual connection to St. Albert? How have you been involved in the arts here?
I was a member of the St. Albert Painters Guild for over 25 years, I believe. And then when VASA first started, Visual Arts Studio St. Albert, or something like that, when they first were founded, I've been a member of them ever since, and the Arts and Heritage Foundation of St. Albert as well, and CARFAC, and a number of others.
So a number of others.
Yeah.
And you are actually represented by this gallery, aren't you?
I am. Yes. I'm
Yes.
excited to be part of this gallery because they're a great team of people to work with.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what type of art do you do?
I am a realist painter. I use mainly acrylics because as a child, that's where I started, and having no patience for waiting for paint to dry, as in oils, etc.
Yeah.
I chose that. It seemed to fit.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
So you do a lot of country scenes.
Right.
And-
So my inspiration comes from where I live, basically the gardens that I've built. So I photograph a lot of really interesting things that I find just about every day out and about my area. Use those photographs as the start of an inspiration for a piece of work.
So
Yeah.
this is your first time with the Night of
It
Artists.
is.
So what do you think? Are you excited?
I am. I'm also nervous. I have this task list that's like 4 pages long. Get all my, trying to work it through my brain and make
Right.
sure I've got all my ducks in a row.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And for those of you who do not know what the Night of Artists is, it is a professional group of artists that was started by Phil Lane in 1997. And he brought his group to St. Albert in 2013. And ever since then, he's had an annual show at the Enjoy Center, which will be coming up March the 20th to the 22nd. So the Friday night is a lot of fun. It's a big gala, and it's always well attended. So I know you're just going to love it. So what type of things can people look for? Do you have big pieces, little pieces? Are all yours originals?
Yeah, I'll have everything from that to this. And the only reproductions I have will be magnets and greeting cards and that sort of thing, smaller things. Everything else will be original, hand-painted.
Right. Well, that's great. Well, I'm really looking forward to you being part of the Night of Artists family. It's going to be a really fun weekend.
It'll be great. Yeah, it's like, from what I've heard, it's like a family. So
It is,
I'm
it
excited
is.
for that.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Judy,
You're
for coming
welcome.
and agreeing to the interview. It's been great seeing you.
Thank
And I
you.
look forward to seeing all your new work, because I know you were doing a lot of work, because I've
I
been
am.
seeing it on Facebook.
Right.
So where else can people find you?
Online on my website. They can call me and come to the studio for a visit if they like a little drive in the country. And social media, Instagram, Facebook, that sort of thing.
It's great. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm Memory Roth, and this has been Art in the City with TV7.ca.
The Jesse's House is the first new shelter built in Alberta in almost 20 years for people fleeing domestic violence. The much-needed resource is set to open in the next few weeks and will support people from the Sturgeon region, St. Albert, Edmonton Garrison, and Alexander First Nations. Crews of dedicated volunteers will be sorting through and moving furniture and other donations into the house next week. Now, they're still looking for some additional operational funding, and a local mosaic artist is putting on a fundraiser to help with the funding shortfall.
Carol Donald of Wow Factor Mosaics will be sponsoring a mosaic workshop and pizza night at her studio on February 29th. For only $50, you'll be making an 8x8 mosaic trivets using tile, stone, and glass. Now, this fun project is suitable for beginners, and all materials will be supplied. All proceeds, of course, will go to the Jessica Martel Memorial Foundation.
On February 29th, I'm hosting a workshop here in my studio, and we're going to be making an 8-inch by 8-inch mosaic trivet. It's very much a beginner project. I've had the same project. I've taken it out to Riverbend School and done it with the grade 9 class a few times. So it is something that anybody can do. 100% of the proceeds will be going to Jesse's House, which is a shelter for people escaping domestic violence that's opening just outside of Morinville this spring. A friend of mine was going to volunteer there, and so I became aware of the third-party fundraising opportunities that they had posted on their website, and I decided that this would be a great opportunity for me to do the same workshop that I've done before, only donate all the proceeds to this great cause. The cost is $50 a person, and that includes all the supplies and the pizza dinner and light refreshments. And information is on my website at www.wowfactormosaics.com.
And after my bout with the flu last week, I'm hoping that Michelle Parker can get me back on my toes this week with Let's Get Fit.
All right, so today we're going to talk about the crawl. So let's chat a little about crawling. Crawling is a dynamic exercise that can be done anywhere. Crawling allows us to engage multiple muscle groups, doing what once came naturally for us. After all, most of us learned to crawl before we learned to walk. Best of all, the only exercise tool you need is yourself. So these moves are easily portable. When you go on vacation this winter to escape that cold, you can take this crawl with you anywhere. Not sure where to start? How about just down on all fours? Once you're on the ground, practice moving forwards and backwards, side to side, adding in some different variety as you get more comfortable with it. So let's come on down to the floor together and I'll show you some of those fun varieties. All right, so we're back down on the ground for our crawl challenge. So I'm going to show you a couple different varieties of crawls. Remember what I said about going forward and back, side to side? And today's challenge with that, once you've figured out which crawl you want, is to try with 5 minutes. So set a timer, 5 minutes of crawling around your home in a small confined space, whatever works for you, at least 3 days this week. So the first crawl I'm going to show you is our bear crawl. So coming onto all fours, shins are aligned with the floor, and you're just going to move small movements forward, small movements back. You can be going across the room or just a couple steps away. You can go sideways and the other side. So that's one crawl. That's our bear crawl. If that one's not right for you, stick your hips up in the air. Same thing, going forward and back. Going side to side for our gorilla crawl. Or if you want to keep nice and low and focus in on that plank, you can be doing the same thing here. Coming forward, coming back, side to side. Or same one, but with your arms straight. So we got lots of great different crawl options. Google it, find out lots more. Go back to crawling, it's so much fun and a great total body workout. So today, once you get some crawling done, give us a note in the comment section. Let us know what you did. Tell us what your favorite crawl. From TV7.ca, I'm Michelle Parker. Have a wonderful day.
Well, it's Family Day long weekend, so that means that this Monday is the Fire and Ice Festival. Now, this family-friendly event hosted by the St. Albert firefighters each year will take place at the Lacombe Park Lake from 12 until 4.
And you can head on down there for the Kids Firefighter Obstacle Course, a petting zoo, and fun crafts with Home Depot. Or be entertained with a sleigh ride, watch the ice carvers, or from 1:30 to 2:30 you can enjoy fire artist performances. There will of course be food and drinks and the fire pits. The only thing missing this year is the skating.
That's right. Now, the lake is closed for this winter season because someone has drilled numerous holes for ice fishing, which has caused the surface to flood. The slushy mix has created an unsafe condition, and therefore the ice will be closed for public use for the remainder of the season. But I'm sure you and the kids will still find something to do down there. Are you going to join everybody, Paul?
If I'm feeling better, I absolutely will be down there. I'd love to meet and see all of you guys down there. Yeah, you betcha.
Now remember, this is an on-leash, dog-friendly event, so
bet.
you are allowed to bring your four-legged family members too, but just a reminder, there will be no parking at Lacombe Lake Park during this event. Please use the free park and ride from Belrose Composite High School, which starts at 11:50 a.m. and runs every 10 minutes until 4:30. On Saturday, January 17th, sometime between 11:30 and 12:30, the St. Albert RCMP responded to a complaint of thefts of wall-mounted hand dryers from 3 separate Starbucks locations in St. Albert. Now, the male suspect may also be involved in similar thefts in other jurisdictions and is described as being Caucasian with a heavier build. He has short dark hair, a beard, and was wearing glasses. He also has what one can only presume is extremely dry hands.
And St. Albertans, this is why we can't have nice things. They're stealing our catalytic converters and now our hand dryers. Now, if you have any information about these or any other incidents, the St. Albert RCMP would like to talk to you. You can contact them at 780-458-7700, or if you wish to remain anonymous, you can contact, as always, Crime Stoppers on the P3 Tips app or online at www.p3tips.com.
And wash your hands.
Twice.
And here's Crystal Lucier with this week's Financial Focus.
I want money.
Reporting a change in marital status or address is more important than you might think. A change in address is important because CRA needs to be able to get in touch with you if they have questions about any of your year filings. If you don't respond within an allotted amount of time, you could potentially lose a filed credit by not sending in your supporting documents. Marital status is also very important, as your marriage or common law date changes your household income. Household income is what affects your child benefits and GST credit. If you don't properly report a change in marital status, and they have to backdate your status when they find out, you'll have to pay back any overpaid benefits and credits that were based on household income for you. This might include your child tax benefit. Marital status changes and address changes can be easily done by calling CRA directly or by using your My Account online. I'm Crystal Lucier with Preferred Tax Solutions, and this is TV7.ca.
I want money.
Well, thank goodness once again for our local RCMP. They managed to catch and arrest a break-and-enter suspect on February 2nd after responding to a call.
That's right, Paul. In the early morning, officers were dispatched to a business on Muir Drive where entry was gained by force. Now, the suspect was observed on the surveillance taking various electronic devices from the business. A man matching the description was located in the area and the electronics were recovered nearby.
34-year-old Jesse Donald Michael Welch was arrested and charged with break-and-enter, weapons charges, possession of a controlled substance, and other charges related to release conditions.
Now, if you have any information about these or any other incidents, the St. Albert RCMP would like to have a word. You can contact them at 780-458-7700. And again, if you'd like to remain anonymous, you can get in touch with Crime Stoppers.
Well, our beautiful city has been recognized as a tree city of the world. Now, we are one of only 9 other Canadian cities that are being honored around the world by the Arbor Day Foundation. This recognition is sure to make our city more popular. In 2019, we had a tree count of over 65,000, including parks and boulevard trees. Natural area trees were not included in this count.
Now, all of those trees really spruce up our city. Edmonton was the only other Alberta city to make the list. Now, if you're wondering what branch of our city administration is responsible for the trees, it's the Public Works and Transit Department. Now, they ensure the community's parks and recreation areas are taken care of and currently have 7 ISA certified arborists on staff. St. Albert make the planting and care of the trees a priority as part of our commitment to a healthier and environmentally friendly city.
Now, I'm sorry for the sappy puns. For more information about the city's tree service, log onto their website and search tree services. Who writes this stuff?
My apologies to Stephanie Cordova. I'm still trying to recover from the previous story, but she's here nonetheless to help us get our homes more organized with Cut the Clutter.
The first step before doing any organizing is to cut the clutter. I've incorporated the following 6-step for success for being organized. Simplify, separate, sort, space, systems, and sustain. To start, we're going to talk about simplifying and separating. Purging all your unneeded, unused, and unloved items leaves you with a home filled with items that you love and use. So while simplifying, touch things only once. Don't make just-in-case piles and decide the first time. Ask yourself some hard questions. What is your priority? Your stuff or some space? Feel good with your clothes, for example, and pick only the things that you love wearing. Don't start with an emotional area the first time. If pictures are very emotional for you, maybe start with your junk drawer. And simplify your thoughts as you're doing this. If you have a lot of negative thoughts, check those out first. And last but not least, when you're simplifying, notice the benefits as you get started and as you're organizing, and carry that momentum to allow you to keep going. While you're purging, separate the items that you do and don't want into piles of donations, garbage and recycling, and maybe the reuse center, as many piles as you need to keep it straight in your mind. It's helpful to collect a few boxes and bags before you get started. I like to write on the bags where everything is going, so when I'm taking it to the donation places, I can sort it as I go. Thank you, and join us next week for Space and Sorting.
And Lisa and I are going to cut it out for this week. Now, if you have any community events or news you'd like to share with our viewers, please, as always, send us an email at news@tv7.ca. And from all of us at tv7.ca, I'm Paul Huckalak.
And I had nothing to do with that pun.